on, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see about 7 of you in here waiting, so I figured we'd hang out until the show starts. We got just a few minutes, so if you're just popping on now, at a later time, that's okay. Just fast forward a few minutes to get this party started. What's going on, Jimmy? It's good to see you, brother. Mama's in the building. We got B. Stewie out there today with his boy doing a night flight. Big shout out to you, B. Stewie and the crew. Very pumped to hear that. Love seeing the young men out there doing big things, man. That's what it's all about. And that's what we're doing here. We're doing big things too. I've had a crazy weekend and was happy to be able to have some time to chart. Still have not had the time to tear in to the new book. I am pumped, I'm excited. This is gonna be our new orange book, I can already tell. Amit, right, if I'm saying it right, is already up 300% this year in the investing championship. So I'm excited to go through it and read what he's going on about it. I know a lot of us are excited about it. I haven't had any time. I tried the first paragraph and I got interrupted by the kiddos a couple of times. But what's up, Zamora? It's good to see you guys. Huge shout out to the members out there. Norman Conklin, huge shout out to you, of course. Carl Burr, the man, the myth, the legend. And of course, your boy, B. Stewie. Thank you guys so much for being members. We got just a few minutes. We're gonna get this party started, guys. The market is what? In a bubble? Bull run? Ready for a pullback? Or you just don't know what to think? I know that there is a lot of narratives out there to both the bear and the bull side. I always will lean to the bull side because overall, your market is in a bull trend. So it's safer in my opinion. What's going on? Carl made it. What's going on, brother? Just a couple of more minutes and we're gonna go through the earnings. We're gonna go through the ETF review. We're gonna do those very fast. And then we're gonna get to the hottest stocks. We got some setting up. I got a couple of new focus groups that might not turn into much of anything. Added a few sectors. I hope you guys are interested. If those sectors start to take off, I promise we're gonna be one of the first. We see those 3 new higher lows in the ETFs. We see them in the stocks that have EPS and sales growth. You better believe ka-ching, ka-ching, baby. That's so stupid. Ka-ching, ka-ching, baby. What's up, Torque? It's good to see you, man. Carl Burr, your kid free? Hell yeah. Let's make some money, Carl says. I'm down. We got 14 of you in here. We're going to start here in about 30 seconds. I hope you guys are pumped and excited as I am. Did the research, did all the homework for you. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of data points coming out, as you can see right here in front of you. And I promise you guys, it's gonna be a good show tonight. So thank you for joining me. Pumped. I mean, Wednesday, oh my gosh. Not to mention my stock right here, Robinhood. I get to hold through earnings. The second stock I've ever had to hold through earnings due to the strategy. So speaking of strategy, look at that. Strategy right there. All right, guys, I think it's time. I say, let's dive into this, baby. I hope you guys are ready and willing. I hope I got your eyes and your ears. Let's get into this. Now guys, on this show we have had some major call outs. Why? Well, the turn of the overall YouTube is when I started focusing on leaders, not just primarily for myself, but to help protect those that were following. The biggest issue with everyone following someone else is that they don't know how it's played. They don't know how it's structured. You start looking at these small caps, these mid cap stocks, they can take a toll on your account if you don't know how to play them, if you don't understand risk management. So we always start off with that first. So first data points that are gonna start coming out, the biggest ones are gonna be Wednesday. Monday here, we have Enterprise, we have FEMSA, I'm not sure of some of these, we have a few more banks. After the market on Monday, we have Waste Management, Welltower. Things start heating up on Tuesday. You're gonna start seeing some more that you're more aware of, and that's gonna be Boeing, Spotify, Royal Caribbean, PayPal, Aftermarket, Visa, Mandela's, Republic, Electronic Arts, Seagate, Starbucks. What's up, Yosef? Good to see you, brother. I hope everything's running fine. It's showing I got an error, so I hope you guys are seeing and hearing everything okay. Let me know in the chat, please. Now, Wednesday right here, guys. Wednesday is when things are going to start to get real tasty because these data points, these bigger stocks, the ones that actually move the overall market, like your Microsoft, Meta, Qualcomm, ARM, Robinhood, Carvana, Ford, Apple, Amazon on Thursday. I mean, guys, we have a huge amount of data points coming up here. So we really need to pay attention. I know for me, I'm in like 65, 70% cash. Since we started this bull run, I have been in margin, and now I'm in more cash than I am anything, basically kind of waiting for a pullback because we keep pushing so much higher. But of course, I'm letting my winners run. This is a big reason why. I see that there is a lot of data points heading out there, and I don't see any perfect 5-star setup. So we're going to go through the Mag 7 just to cover this and the ETF review. So I think we start with the Mag 7 since we see the majority of those here. And so we'll just switch this over here to the Mag 7 stock. And if we look at these Mag 7s, we'll just skip the indexes really quick. And we'll go over NVIDIA. You can see here NVIDIA reached new all-time highs on Friday. That's a huge sign. EPS and sales growth are still there. Of course, if you want to play NVIDIA, you're going to look for NVDL, which is your 2x leverage. This one moves a little slow. Of course, you know there's issues with those 2x leverage, so make sure you understand what you're playing. Jolene's in the building. Good to see ya. And Norman Conklin. What's up, Eagle Voice? Good evening to you, sir. So NVIDIA is looking very healthy right now. Google, rounded shaped bottom. We're forming a cup. Will we have a handle, or are we going to break out like usual? What up, G? My G's in the building. Meta has the handle. We have a V-shaped bottom. We could consider this a cup. Sure. Then we have a handle. And if you guys aren't aware of it, old Zuckerberg's buying up all of the people out there that have anything to do with AI. He's buying up that talent. And if you read about previous winners, the biggest guys, the biggest companies that continue to succeed hold a lot of cash. And in pullbacks, like you've seen here, they start buying up companies. And Zuckerberg's been doing this for quite some time. And now he's buying up talent inside AI. I'm a big Meta bull, and the wife was looking up today about social media. Facebook is still dominating, you know, with everything else that's going on. Facebook has its hands in everything, not to mention, you know, all the other applications it has. So that's looking really good here. It's above all the moving averages. Apple, this thing, I hate to say it because it's below a 200-day moving average. I mean, look at this basing area right here, right? It hasn't done much of anything. So now that we've had some expansion, it's starting to contract. This is going to be this is something to watch out for. It looks like a launching pad. Am I going to play before earnings? Absolutely not. But I sure as hell will be focused on Apple, because if we look at the stock heat map here, Apple is a huge component of the overall market. And as you guys know, we want to go with the overall market's direction. We want the wind to our back, as they say. So Apple, we're hoping for Thursday that we've seen and heard the worst of the Apple news, the Apple tariff, the Apple, you know, not keeping up with AI, and maybe we catch a new data point on Thursday. Tesla, I know a lot of you guys have been talking about Tesla. It is forming down here those new higher lows. 1, 2, will this be 3? I know this chart, this looks like garbage right now. Sorry guys, I'll clean it up sometime. But yeah, you know, this has got the 3 new higher lows. If it holds this and gets a little bit tighter here and it breaks this trend break, I mean, this could be a very plausible area for risk reward. What I don't like about Tesla is the EPS and sales growth. Why would I put my money into something that's not showing that it's going to make any money for its investors or for itself, okay? So I'm gonna stay away from Tesla on this one. I don't care how tight or how juicy it gets. I need to see EPS and sales growth when I'm taking these trades in the majority of what I trade. Jeff Rosenberg says, METU, ever played that leverage meta? I have, actually. We did on the last bull run, we played MSTU multiple times. That's a very good one, and I'm glad you brought that up. What up, Loke Doc's in the building. Happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday to you too, brother. I hope you guys are nice and cool. I got my door open, windows open. I'm too stingy right now I'm too much on a budget right now to be turning this heat on. We're trying to tough it out, but woo, I'm getting a little sweat on here. I hope you guys are staying cool. Amazon's looking really, really good here, approaching those new all-time highs. Obviously not doing as good as the rest of the Mag 7, but still, we have that new data point coming in very, very soon. Next up is the Microsoft, the softest of the micros. And you can see right here, Microsoft has been absolutely just doing the best out of the Mag 7 stocks. Absolutely kicking ass, taking names. Microsoft has got the bulls by the horn on this one. I've also added Roblox here. Roblox looking very keen up here. A lot like Hood is. We'll go over that in a second. But you got this big push up, wicking top, holding that 10-day moving average and never closing below it. You guys will hear me all the time. When you find these basing breakouts or trend break simple instance, you'll see it holds that 10-day moving average very well, just like Hood did. Held it, never closed below it. It did here on this day, but you get my point here. Hood actually never did. So according to my strategy, I would have been out here and been very happy with this move, but I stayed away from Roblox. Most of you know why. Netflix, I put this on here because this is what led the overall market. Roblox, Netflix, and there were a few other that were really leading the start of the bull run. And you can see here, Netflix having a hard time slicing through its 50-day moving average. Is this its top? You know, or will it start to form another base here and then capitulate higher? So Netflix still looking, I shouldn't say still looking good. Slicing its 50-day moving average, it's looking great because it's still way ahead. Growth still look like they're doing very well, and it's holding above that 10-day moving average. So that is your Mag 7. But one thing we always need to keep a very close eye on are the ETFs. So here is your ETF and SPY review.
This is your ETF and S&P 500 review.
All right, guys, so I always think it's important, and I use this NASDAQ, and if you guys didn't know already, the NASDAQ is gapping up this morning, or tonight. So as it opened up, you guys can see right here, there's a decent sized gap here. So we gapped up and opened up 0.19%. Okay, that's, I mean, to me, any gap up is significant in this overall market. But when you see this, it's absolutely beautiful. You know, absolutely beautiful to see. Now, I always think, you know, there's a huge chance that we're going to fill this gap. But regardless, we're starting off better than where we left off. So in my opinion, if we're starting off better than where we left off, even if we pull back and bounce, whether it's off the 10-day or continue to gap up, it's going to be better than where we were, you know. It's still a choppy connection. Man, I'm telling you, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. Hey, get off the internet, fam. Tell the kiddos to get off their damn internet. They don't care that dad's streaming. It has not, I might be looking at Roblox, but they're trying to play it, you know? I'm sorry, guys. Give me one sec. Hey, get off the internet. Wow, we're gonna have to upgrade the internet. Here we go. All right, guys. Let's get back into it. NASDAQ gapping up. The NASDAQ futures looking absolutely amazing. This is what you want to see right here. This is what you want to see. When you're in and you're risk on and everybody's talking bearish, this is the squeeze, baby. This is the squeeze. This is the hedge funds trying to squeeze this because nobody believes in this bull market. It's still a bull market. It's still kicking ass. Is this the top? I sure as hell am not going to short this. I'll put it that way. Why? Because I wasn't going to short this. I wasn't going to short this. I wasn't going to short this. I'm not shorting this strong price action. We have been bullish, folks, since we cut through the 21-day moving average and bounced off of it. We were on a power trend somewhere in this area. We have been full bore risk on in margin at sometimes making money. And there's big reasons why we focus on the overall market trend. And you can see here, it's looking very, very good. Yeah, please do. Call Elon. Tell him to send me some Starlink, please. Him and get some for old B. Stewie. He's got hamsters trying to keep his internet going. Next up is Bitcoin. I know some of us don't give a crap about Bitcoin. Some of us do. I'll make this relatively short. We're above the anchored VWAP from all-time high. A lot of speculation around this. Yes, I bought this basing breakout by using IBIT. So I could buy it with equity, with cash. And you can see here, you know, it's looking really well. What I love about this is this shakeout. Shakeout right here. Big shakeout right here, and it's ripping back higher. Hey, guys. Hey, kiddos. Off the internet, please. Oh, I guess it's my fault. It's nobody else's. Sorry, guys. My internet's down. Or it's not doing very well, which really sucks. I don't think I have anything else running. Thank you, Jolene. I hope that's better. Man, it's always when we got a good stream going. That's what it always is. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. All right, so check it out. We got Bitcoin. Bitcoin, all very, very close to those new all-time highs. We have the shakeout. This is it's a big deal for me. When we see a shakeout like this, seen this? Right? I was like, hey, I don't care about Bitcoin anymore when we got shook out here. But when it got back up into this sideways action and then held a new higher low, I was back to being interested again, right? And here we are getting tight. We playing the base breakout using IBIT, and then we're holding on to this. This shakeout day, sure, it sucked because I had so much more on Bitcoin, right? But now that it shook out, took out all the weak hands who didn't play this basing breakout here, it's soaked back up, and to me, that undercut and rally is showing huge strength in the overall Bitcoin itself. So if you're playing an MSTU, you're gonna see right now it's gapping up. MSTU gapped up. I'm sure coins looking really well. So just to get through some of the major ones, IWM, we're holding above a 10-day moving average. I'm expecting to get some more strength in IWM. I really am. I think IWM's really gonna start ramping up here. It's been a lagger. With the overall market continuing to rip higher, we should see something happen with IWM. Volatility should start flooding into this, especially with the overall market interest rates starting to pull back. All right. So we could go through a couple more of these. Gold, as I called the top a while ago, I kept saying Judgment Day, Judgment Day, Judgment Day. I don't know when Judgment Day is actually going to be, but right here was the top that I called. I've been wrong 1,000 times before. We're going to see, is this the end of it? Is this the end of gold? Will it start to pull back here? Was this a fake breakout? Well, it keeps holding these new higher lows. So you can see if we just draw a ray line right off this, look at this. Look how beautiful that is, right? Maybe undercutting it a little bit here. We'll see if it wants to hold, but I am pretty bearish on gold, just like I have been through all of this too, so we'll see. Thank you, Norman. I hope it continues to work, man, because I tell you, it's been a while since we had a real good stream, and it seems like they're flooding in here. So YouTube's, the algorithm's being nice to me tonight, and my internet is not, but it's A-okay. Let's see. All right, cool. So that's all I'm going to go through, guys. We could talk about the breadth of the market. We could talk about a lot of different things. But just know, when we're looking at price action, simply put, the overall market conditions are looking very, very bullish. Price action is looking bullish. We can look at all the bearish, everything that makes it so scary to be in the market, so scary to invest, so scary, blah, 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 whatever. Price action is still showing that we're in a beautiful, beautiful, absolute beautiful bull run here. Not to say we can't have some pullbacks, but we are in a beautiful, beautiful bull run. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you, Loke Doc. All right, much better. Cool. Thank you for sticking with me, folks. I appreciate that. Now I really, really want to get into this, guys. These are, not every one of these is going to be a leader, but I wanted to start up a few new ETFs that we can keep an eye on, okay? So this is my Thinkorswim. This is over here is my charts. You guys can see right here the list of them on the side here. I went through the overall stock watch list, and I threw a few new ones in there that I want to keep an eye on. That's biotech, therapeutics, and healthcare. I know you guys don't hear me say that a lot, but I really want to start keeping an eye on it, but I only want to hold on to things that I think are either looking very, very good technically, or they're at least doing somewhat well in their EPS and sales growth. So I have a few stocks. Take these as a grain of salt. I'm just watching these for now. I need to see a lot more into these. NTLA, it's looking like it's finally getting above that area. Brad brought this up, I believe, not too long ago, but you know, if these things start to amount to something, we start to see, you know, you can see the accumulation down here, a lot more volume starting to come in. I want to see a big pop up before I get into something like this. But here's SMMT. I brought this up because we've watched this stock many times before. It just does a lot of chopping around, but something to keep an eye on with that basing at that $30 area. What's up, Robert Tainch? My audio is still going in and out, man. Guys, I am so sorry. I wish I had better. I wish I had better quality tonight. I usually don't have these issues. I know I always have an issue, but this mic, this everything. There's always something, guys. There's always something. I thank you for bearing with me, guys. I hope it clears up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, keep stalling on your end. Looks like it's spinning. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. You know what? Hang on. This might ruin me. Connecting to Ethernet. Hang on, guys. Hang on. This might be worse. There we go. Hey, I bet that works. I bet that works. My Ethernet wasn't connected. It was going all off of Wi-Fi. That's why. That's all my end. All right, is that better? Let me know. This sucks. So sorry, guys. So sorry. Oh, it's hard enough to do this live, and then you got internet connections. You know, I'm not complaining. I just feel bad because, you know, I'm trying to put on a show for you guys, and now we're cutting in and out. We should be good now. I hope everybody's still with me. Sorry about that, guys. Internet connection should be back. It should be faster than lightning now. Lightning has been hooked up to my laptop, and we are ready to rock. So AMLX is one of the tickers I was looking at. It looks like we're getting a drop off in the hours after hours, but I like AMLX. It's squatting down on the 10-day moving average. We'll see if it wants to hold that area. Now, again, with the biotech and therapeutics, I'm just going to be keeping an eye on it. It's not something that I'm really going to dive too deep into. It's kind of like a last ditch for me. Like nothing else is moving. I'll try a few biotechs, but I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna do much less share size. The gold and miners, I added a few on here. So if you guys really do like those golds, those basin trend breakouts in the gold, HL has been trading sideways forever. So if I just put an alert right here at say around $6.30, you're gonna find out that if this basing breakout that's been basing for over a year now, folks, over a year, hell, you could even consider this way longer. If we see a big chunk of volume come into this and it continues higher, but right now, you know, again, this is just very speculative because I'm not seeing a breakout. I'm seeing new higher lows. I'm seeing it get tight. If it does break out, it could be something that we could take. But with this much chop, you know, it's not an A+ setup. FSM, you can see continual growth. It's in the mining corporation. They have good earnings and sales growth. You can see if it breaks out of this area, but again, you know, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not very particular about gold. So those are just an extra few that I seen on the watch list. Let's go through nuclear really quick, guys. So NLR is going to be our ETF. You can see NLR absolutely decimating its competitors. Nuclear is very hot right now. It's going to continue to be hot until we start to undercut some of these moving averages. But you can see this trend, very secular, very straight up. And you can see that in uranium as well, straight up. Absolutely beautiful. We are playing OKLO, OKLO. This is what I found to be what I call a triple whammy. You have a basing breakout and a trending breakout on 3 new higher lows with volume candle. Right, so on the 5-minute, guys, right here, I took it literally right here, 47.67. I sold half of my shares right here in the $68 area. Reason being, because this is your biggest area of Carl, dude. Some of our viewers don't even know what dial-up is, dude. Yeah, somebody tried to phone in while I was doing a live stream and it cut me out. Oh, I'll never forget that. But yeah, we played OKLO. I'm still holding OKLO. I sold 50 shares here, moved my stop up to break even. Break even was well down here. I'm just following this 10-day moving average. So I moved my stop up to this undercut here, and I'm just letting that last 50 shares ride. So, you know, like I said, if you take off, I always take off half my shares by all-time high when I'm playing trend breakouts. Reason being is because there's always usually a big sell-off, and if something more happens, I'll just stop out at break even, you know? And now I can hold just 50 shares and let that last piece run. And you know, just being 50 shares, I'm up $930 on this last half. I've already locked in close to $800 or $900 on this. So being able to sit back, relax, and know that this $900 is not my money. This is still the market's money. I'm willing to take a break even, but I won't even be up break even because I will close once it closes below a 10-day moving average, right? So I can let this play. It's a free trade at this point. I've made my money on this stock. The rest is all just free money. It's all going into the wife's purse. We also have NNE. Yes, Robert Tate, you're very welcome. Thank you for bearing with me, folks. Thank you, thank you. NNE, if you guys weren't there in the Discord, NNE basing breakout working very, very well here and on volume. To me, it's more of a leader because we have your SMR, which made new all-time highs. Your Oklo made new all-time highs. Your LEU is close to those new all-time highs. So NNE is a bit of a lagger, but you know, laggers sometimes like to catch up. So if you're looking for that, there is that as well. But I would focus more on your Oklos, SMR, LEU, things like that. I added a retail trade. Now, some of these aren't retail trade. I didn't know what to categorize them, and I don't want to add another list. So bear with me here. This one I found interesting. We have earnings coming out, but TDUP, nice big push back up through this area. It's just kind of chopping around here, but something I just wanted to watch. And then this is Amazon. Obviously, we already went over Amazon. SoFi. So SOFI, we have earnings coming up as well. That's on the 29th, so the day before Hood has earnings. It'll be very interesting to see how SoFi is affected on earnings. Its previous earnings looks like was a loss there. No, it was a beat by 30 cents. So we'll see what happens with SoFi. We need to continually see SoFi on their earnings and sales growth continue higher. Now, this is what I found really interesting, and I think some of you guys will agree with me because we've been watching Reddit for a while now, because Reddit does have EPS and sales growth. They also have data that they could sell. They could be bought out, but what I really like is this nice rounded bottom here. It's kind of got this basing area. If you just bear with me, we'll just throw a basing area right here that it broke out of. It's also a significant area of $150. Okay, it's trading at $149.66. And we also have earnings coming up right here. So it looks like a launching pad. We'll see what wants to happen. There's a lot of resistance up here in that 175, 180 area. We'll see what Reddit wants to do. Here's another stock, guys. So UPST has been a leader in this market off and on. I know the last bull run, it was definitely there with a firm. It's starting to get some attention. I decided to look into its EPS and sales growth because when they first started to take off, they didn't have much of EPS and sales growth, but now it's starting to ramp up. People must be paying their bills because it's kind of a buy now, pay later deal with UPST. So that's what it is, and it's doing really well. It's right back up into this area. I don't know if it's going to form that handle. Looks like it's trying to here, but keep an eye on this one as the 10 and 21 day moving averages are rising with UPST. Now, a big one is that cyber software, and we go through these every day. I'll just show you where Hack is looking. It's still hacking around here. It had that big sell-off due to some of the earnings. And you can see here, it's just trending right back up. It's trending right back up there. So let's see how the overall stocks are doing. CrowdStrike, not so well. Below a 50-day moving average, not looking so good. Okay, RBRK, if it can hold this base, that is a very nice base for it to hold. But below a 50-day moving average, I'm not as interested in this, but I need to keep an eye on it because this run was absolutely phenomenal. We made a lot of money taking this simple basing breakout at 75 and holding up until 91 after taking half off at 20%. CRWV, this I had very high hopes on being a high tight flag breakout pattern, and it did not. It started to keel over. I could not get into this. My alert never went off for that basing breakout, and now my computer screens are turning off and on for me. So of course it's one thing after the next, folks. We got to keep it going though. Holy cow. I tell you what, it's always something. I'm being hacked. See, that's what happens. That's what happens. I can't get the screen on now. Oh, goodness. Maybe I share the other screen? Can I do that? Oh, my goodness, guys. This is crazy. Maybe I can do this. I pull it. All right, pull this over here. Blow that up. And then I can switch this live screen. Display capture. And then let me do this properties. I'm going to switch you guys to this screen here. There we go. Now, can I get, oh, I can't get my, there's always something, folks. There's always something. You know what I can do? I can restart Thinkorswim. It'll pop up on this screen, and then we'll be able to continue. I'm telling you, folks, there's always something. It's difficult live streaming. A lot of people don't realize it. You know, people watch YouTube videos and stuff, but they don't see how many issues you can run into live streaming. It can be a pain in the butt, y'all. I'm telling you, it really can sometimes. If you're not on top of things, for one, you don't have everything set up, for two. But when things pop up on a fly like this, it makes it pretty damn difficult. Yeah, 'cause I can't even grab it now. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I had some good ones for you too. Bear with me. Bear with me. We're closing stuff down. I'm gonna make it work. Make sure you vote on the poll, guys. This market is what? In a bubble, bull run, ready for a pullback, or do you just not know yet? It's okay to not know. I definitely am always in the air. I always try to make best case scenarios. And you know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. My best case scenario does show up. If it does work out, well then, bada bing, bada boom. That's when you start putting on that risk. You put a little risk on, you get your toes wet, you see if it's working. All right, come on, Thinkorswim, let's go. A little faster, please. We got people waiting, baby. Well, it's only 9:28. We're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. Let me get signed in here really quick, guys. Let me get signed in. We're still gonna make this work, dude. We will. I got this. It ain't nothing but a thing. You guys, you guys waited this long. Goodness gracious. Look like a floating head with this. Oh, where did it pop up? Oh no, it popped up in the same screen. Ah, what a turd. It popped up in the same screen. Man. Well, at this point, thanks, Norman. Oh, it's embarrassing. And now I got 2 trading views up. Now it's going to make everything run slow. And task. Nope. Let's see if I can turn this off and back on, maybe. Oh, check it out. All right, here we go. Oh, you guys, wow. All right, we're running through it now, baby. Appreciate you guys. Let's see, I'm not going anywhere, Chief. Woo, thank you, thank you. Smash the like button, Jolene says. Working now, okay. Oh, thank you guys, appreciate you. Thanks for the love, I appreciate you. All right, we're gonna get right back into it. I'm not messing around anymore. We already went through nuclear. We already went through cybersecurity. Actually, we didn't get all the way through it. So we're talking about this. We're gonna show you the new ones that I threw on here. Earnings coming out, MGNI, Magnanite, something new that I found, trying to ride that 21-day moving average and had to hold the 10-day moving average, pulled back following the 21. Earnings coming up, so be careful. I also added, there goes my screen again, wow. I also added PL. I thought this Planet Labs looks really, really good here. Very interesting basing breakout right up here at this top area. And you can see it's getting really tight under $7. So that $7 area is one to definitely keep an eye on. You guys are gonna be surprised for me to say this, but Bull, B-U-L-L, is starting to turn around here. You can see right in this area here, it's starting to shape up. I do like this. I like the volume coming in, but we need to give it more time. I really think it's gonna come right up into this area and pull back. I wanna see it get really, really tight under this $19 area. We'll see what happens there. I also added GDS. We're seeing some good sales growth now at a GDS, and look at this beautiful pop-up, holding the majority of its gains, retracing that gap, but holding the majority of this run here, and now it's just getting exciting. This GDS is looking really, really exciting down here in this area, so keep an eye on GDS. IREN stopped me out. I'm still gonna keep an eye on it though. I probably won't play it because, you know, once you get stopped out of something like that, you know, it's definitely hard for me to continue to want to trade something after I've already been knocked out of it. But I will say, I feel like I traded this so well because I played this. It had immense volume on the 5-minute time frame. I was very, very happy to take this trade. Took the trade. I was up probably $800 in, you know, 30 minutes or something like that. Came crashing right back down. When I got back down here to break even, I sold half of my shares to help reduce my risk. And I was very happy I did because it did end up stopping me out. And in that stop out, I lost only half of an R, which is very important when you guys start using risk management, which you should always be using risk management. But to only lose a half an R on a trade that you are just so confident on, I mean, I was all for this trade. And I will take this trade every single time. But if it starts to fail, I'm not gonna marry this stock. I'm gonna be out of it because this thing could just capsize right here. It could go up $100 too. I don't know, but this is how I play my strategy. This is what keeps me safe because the best stocks are gonna continue to run higher. We also have Oracle, which this thing is absolute monster, still holding that 10-day moving average. All the top leaders that we have talked about, like Oracle, like Hood, they've been holding these. They've been kicking ass and taking names. Here was the basing breakout, a little too choppy or a little too extended for me on the 10-day when we talked about this a few weeks ago, but look, it still worked out beautifully. We have quite a few other stocks on here. Obviously PLTR, if you guys aren't already in this is a stock that I would say, you know, you're gonna have to wait for another setup because at some point in time, it's gonna pull back like this and you're gonna have another opportunity to buy probably on that 30-day moving average. It seems to be what is its last and final stand. Cecil making a comeback here. Nice pop on volume. We do have earnings coming up on that one very, very soon. Now, this is very important, near and dear. It's gonna be Cecil. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not gonna be Cecil. It's gonna be semiconductors. SMH is looking really, really good, holding that 21-day moving average still. So even with the slight pullback or the boring movement that we've had in NVIDIA the past couple of days, it's just kind of trading within this range. It's setting back up. It's looking good. That could be another basing breakout. I actually called that out in the Discord because it's too extended from the 10-day. The basing breakout can be a tough one to take. But using NVDL, if there's volume that comes in, you're gonna see this thing rip, Peter, chip. And I'm sure in the after hours, you can see right here, it's breaking right through that, sliced right through that. So looking really, really good. AMSC, another leader in that space. Don't forget or sleep on Taiwan Semiconductors, this TSM, right there, new all-time highs, folks. A-Lab finally broke out of that basing area I talked about last week, and now looks like it's just trying to push higher right before earnings. That's gonna be out August 5th, so watch out for that. Our previous leader, AEVA, has broke the 50-day moving average. That's why we have sell rules. That's why we don't marry stocks, folks, because when we take these basing breakouts right here, as we took This basing breakout was taken and it was talked about in the Discord. We took this trade. I was out within a couple of days. If you guys remember that mess up, I sold out before earnings. I thought earnings was this day, and I sold out as this thing continued to carry on. And if I was able to hold, my strategy actually would have allowed me to hold half to a quarter of my shares for the rest of this, and we would have stopped out this day when it closed below the 10-day moving average. Regardless, I know some of you were able to get in and hold that. Congratulations to you. But this is what we're looking for. This is not. When it closed below that 10-day moving average, we caught this chunk here, right? We caught this chunk. I don't care about all this. My money is just trading sideways. I'm good. My money's failing me. I'm good. I'm out. We made our money. You know, we have other ones. MU trying to hold that 50-day moving average, but that data point is coming out. You guys remember I played SMCI. It did. It stopped me out right here for a break-even trade. What do you know? This thing, I'm sorry, it stopped me out right here for a break-even trade, and what do you know? I would be up a lot more money. I actually put 24% of my account actually in the SMCI. So I'm happy to take a break-even trade, but if I would have used just a slighter, wider risk margin on this, I would be up a lot more money. AAOI is also setting up right here, showing a beautiful basing breakout, but again, earnings ruins everything. As August 7th approaches, earnings will tell the tale. That is your semiconductors. Oh goodness, guys, goodness, what a day. I'm having a great day. I just wanted to show you guys iBit. You guys know I'm holding iBit. This is what I'm using to play Bitcoin. We've already went over Bitcoin. Here's a few derivatives that might follow but don't always, like Circle, holding the 30-day moving average, but you know, I like to see new higher lows be held. This was a new higher low on this trade right here. So here's your new higher low. This will have to be your new higher low. If it breaks down below this, forget about it. I don't care about it, but Circle could really move. This thing is a newer IPO and it's holding the majority of its gains here still. So we'll see if it wants to continue to climb. We also have Coinbase pulling back, trying to hold that 10-day moving average, kind of shifting right through it, but with earnings right around the corner. Yep, 731. MSTR getting a nice bump in the after hours. Of course, earnings doesn't mean jack shit to MSTR because they are just a heavy leveraged Bitcoin. So MSTR, the earnings are coming up, but in the after hours, it's up to 420. So above all the moving averages once again. I know some of you have been watching BITX. It's just MSTU, just the 2x leverage, and so is MSTU. Now we have two more sectors to cover. That's quantum and that's aerospace. Quantum, QTUM, still holding the 21-day moving average. This quantum has been very, very strong. Some of the quantum stocks, QBTS, looking very, very good above all moving averages and getting ready to break out of this basing area right here. So that looks really good for QBTS. We also have QUBT, but that one is looking like it's starting to fail. Not holding its 21-day moving average anymore. This would have been a no-go right here as it stopped below that 21. So it's starting to fail. My eyes are not on that. As IONQ continues to tighten up, you can see earnings is also right around the corner. Yes, you're gonna hear me say it a lot. That's probably why I'm in the majority of cash. You can see the new higher lows being put in here. The expansion has now contracted to a very tight $5 area. And this is where my alert is, this 47.50 area. You could get in a little earlier on something like this and use a previous day's low or a previous higher low as your risk. Personally, I don't really care for a lot of these quantum stocks just because there's no EPS and sales growth. So it's hard for me to sleep at night knowing that one of these companies will need to dilute their shareholders in order to raise capital in order to continue funding their quantum whatever, right? They need money. You got to have money to continue to grow. Nobody's just gonna be like, oh, you're working with quantum? Here, have some free money. That's not how the world works. So if they don't have EPS and sales growth, they're going to take it from you out of your pockets while you sleep at night. We also have QS. Now, I love looking at stocks like this. Huge ramp up. I know our Jolene in the Discord kicked ass, take some names, made some big money on this stock. Now it's holding that 10-day moving average like it has been from the very start. So is this the best time or the worst time to get in right now? I don't know, but we will see very, very soon because, I mean, you can't argue with price action. If this thing holds that 10-day moving average and breaks this trend right here, that's going to be a significant buying area. You might be able to play an opening range breakout if it gaps up or flies up on volume. An opening range breakout would be fine. What I don't see here is the new higher low. So after a huge push up like this, this would be your first new higher low, but now this is your first new higher low because it made a new low underneath this. So not liking the look of QS personally, but if it breaks that trend, we can see some unstoppable movement. We also have ARQQ, kind of more of a lagger here, but just something I wanted to hold on the watch list, so looking pretty good. We also have aerospace. Now, I've been watching Archer. This thing has done some big time choppy movement, just trying to keep pinned around this 1050 area. Every time it gets back up into this area, we get big sellers in there, shaking people out. We have earnings coming up very soon on Archer, 8/11. I mean, guys, there's a lot of earnings, So if you're playing something, obviously no, yeah, volume dry up. Yeah, absolutely on that last one, for sure. And we like to see that volume dry up. The QS too, I mean, just looking at the QS, after that big push up, you can see the sell is on lower volume than on the buying. So that's a really good sign there as well. ARKF is what we got for the FinTech innovation. It's looking very good. Obviously, holding that 10-day moving average and not wanting to pull back. AVAV, this thing's a bit choppy for me, but you can't argue with that price action. Look at that. It's just holding that 21-day moving average really, really well. I have no idea what the EPS and sales growth look on this thing. Let's just take a peek. AVAV, look at this. So we're getting some EPS and sales growth, but it's pretty wonky. If we look at it down here, yeah, you can see there, it looks like they're just starting to come around here. So this could be the best time, it could be the worst time to buy into this, but it's definitely looking strong right here. If it gets above this 278, this 280 area on volume, that could be a huge move. You can see, look, huge expansion. We expand 53%, then we contract about half of that, and then expand once again. So from that 50%, now we've contracted to 18%. And now from this new higher low, we've contracted to 5%. And on this last day, we've contracted down to 1%. And this thing moves 4.48%. So now it's contracted. Now it's very, very tight. It's had an inside day. It looks like we could see some expansion out of this. So I like AVAV. I like the way it looks on here. And I think you should at least have it on your watch list for aerospace. BYRN, this is what happens. This is why we don't hold through EPS and sales growth unless you have a firm position. So if you were able to take this stock somewhere in this basing area and you rode it all the way up here, you had taken half to a quarter or half to 3/4 of your shares out, you could have played the EPS growth and stopped out somewhere in here. Sure, we can hold, but only if we have a cushion for reasons like this. So we're just watching that to continue to use it as an example. GE is continuing to be the leader in the aerospace and defense, and so is HWM. So if you want to keep an eye on those leaders, there are the leaders. HWM coming out with earnings here on the 31st. Jobby, much more interesting when you guys like to see things going straight up. That's what you see right here. JOBY trying to show us a nice little base up here. I would say in best case scenario, we'd want to see this thing back and forth, get really tight under that $19 area before I can take a trade, because this is just getting a little choppy. Of course, some of these work out, but with earnings right around the corner, August 6th, I'm gonna wait and buy my time. KTOS looking quite similar to Jobby, right up there in that 6150 area. Rocket Lab. This is a beautiful high tight flag. Of course, a true high tight flag needs 2 to 3 more weeks, but you can see here it is starting to get tight. So that's what we like to see. But again, earnings ruins everything. August 7th, be careful, because RBLK has earnings, and that could really be a data point that changes its behavior. You can see we marked out the basing breakout here. It worked out really, really well. And if you were able to get a hold of this, we're using the 10-day moving average. You know, that's what I preach around here. If it's followed a different moving average, you can see it's followed the 30-day moving average on this. So I would more likely want to use the 30. But if you're trying to keep a tight risk on a momentum breakout, this is your momentum right here, this basing breakout on higher volume. You hold it using a 10-day moving average. If it closes below the 10-day, you exit out of that trade. And I usually take out half of those shares right there, about 18 to 20%. And I also found this SRFM. I don't really care to look at it, but I just wanted to bring it up because these things can get pretty damn crazy sometimes. So SRFM, I don't like where it's came from, but I like where it is right now. Lots of volume coming in here. And I don't think those financials are looking very well either, but just something to keep an eye on. I know some of us like watching those shit tickers. There's plenty of them out there. But what I like to keep and remain focused on is our leaders in the overall market. We go over those leaders every single time we hop on here. So do you guys have any stocks that you want me to take a little peeky gander at before I hop on off here? Let me know in the chat right now. Let me know what the temperature is right now at your place as well, because here it is probably, let me see, it's saying it's 77 and clear, but in my 500 square feet of office / living room that I'm in, it feels like it's 90, and I bet, you know what, I'm about to go grab it. Hang on, I'm gonna see what it says right here. I'm sweating in here. So it's 86 with 87% humidity in my living room right now, guys. I came home to this. I didn't realize this happened. What kind of temperature you guys got going on out there? SERV, yes, Jolene, yes. So I was watching SERV. I think the reason why I didn't pull it up, let me just double check before I say it, but the EPS and sales growth, but they have some EPS and sales growth in this, and this is that robotics. That's what's really nice, because robotics is very, very interesting. Obviously, if you compare robotics with AI, you're gonna have a force to be reckoned with. We have what is showing this a start of a nice cup handle, a cup pattern here, and then we're starting to form maybe a little handle off the side of this. So if we could see some interesting volume start to come in, and you can see it's starting to ramp up here a little bit, a couple of higher than average volume days. So we'll call that accumulation, right? We get a nice push up here, higher volume on the up days, lower volume on the down days, and now we're getting really tight here. So I like that. I'm gonna pop a little alert right here, and we'll see if we can't get a hold of something like that. We just want to see that volume come in, and I know I don't have to tell you that Jolene, you're absolutely kicking ass when it comes to finding those high volume stocks. Stormy in 73, Jimmy. That actually sounds like some good sleeping weather, to be honest. Tron. So I did bring up Tron in the chat, but after I looked at it, man, I have a hard time. I have a hard time with this. But this thing moves 19.68%, guys. 19.68%. That's a rip your face off type of mover. So do keep in mind, if you're looking at something like this, put in your stops, make sure that they're tight, and if you're stopped out, don't get too hyped about holding on to this thing. It can drop overnight, okay? Huge pushes up on the volume on the pullback. There's almost no volume. It's all dried up. Consumer durables, recreational, you can see we're starting to see the EPS and some sales growth. I looked into this. They make stuff for, like, you know, toys, souvenirs, and plushies. It's a manufacturing and design company for big ventures. So I'm sure they're selling them in, you know, like Disney, and they're selling them in Cedar Point, stuff like that, you know. So it's very interesting. Yeah, this is definitely a stock you better hold on to your panties because this will rip them right off. Watch out, folks. This thing could just skyrocket up or it could give you a wedgie and flip you over backwards over the boxer. So be careful with TRON. But I'm telling you, this is where if you play these right, this is where you can really make the most money. That's where we have the advantage as retail traders, is we can find these low floats where it's the float percentage is 51% and the shares in the float's only 9 million. So you got 9 million shares out there and it's a low, it's under 10 bucks. So anybody with $1 million can come in here and start to really influence the price action. With that being said, it's easily manipulated. So you need to be really careful playing these, folks. I started off playing these low floats, these small cap stocks. I don't have the mentality for it. It's not the way I trade. I need to observe the market, step away from the market, come back and see what happened. Because if not, I'm staring at the damn market until my eyes bleed and it's sucking all my mental capacity out of me and it actually puts me in a very bad mood. So I have to really stay focused. So I will keep an eye on Tron. If I do end up taking this trade in this, it will be on such low share size that this stock could go to zero and I still wouldn't give a shit. So that's just how I'm gonna have to play this because where I put my money into is the big ones. And I know you guys don't wanna hear me rant about it, but you know, Hood was a huge one. You know, there's quite a few other trades, but you know, look at the EPS and sales growth on this damn thing. You know, and you can see right here, you know, it was one of the first out of that V-shaped bottom and it held up really well compared to some of the other stocks out there. You know, this is, I want to snipe another trade like this, but where is it, right? And that's why I'm out of the majority of my stocks. I'm only holding Hood, Bitcoin, and one other trade. So, and Oklo, right? Nuclear. And that's what seems to be paying me. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, and wait. But yeah, I do like that Tron. Well, I hope you guys have an awesome night. I hope I entertained you. I hope I didn't ruin the damn channel with how many damn interruptions there were. Guys, I will make sure my connection for you next Sunday is much, much better. Thank you for all the OGs that have stuck with me. And a huge shout out to Carl Burr, B. Stewie for being members. And of course, just the biggest shout out to Norman Conklin. Norman, you are constantly supporting this channel and I really, really appreciate you. If you guys want to support this channel, membership's $5 a month. I give everything out for free anyway, so you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to hit that like, but just know if you do become a member or you hit that like or subscribe button, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna do this until I die. I don't care how many millions of dollars I end up making in this stock market. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna prove to you that my process is keen. We're up well over 75%. I think I'm closer to 80% already this year, as some of the US investing champions are up to 300% already this year. You know, I like to not compare myself so much to them, but just know that I'm on the right path, right? Now we have to keep the money that we made, and that's what we do using risk management. So if you like it, if you love it, if you want some more of it, hit that like, hit that subscribe. You can even become a member for $5 a month. So big shout out to my awesome members, Carl, B. Stewie, and Norman Conklin. Thank you guys so much. And for the rest of you, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I love you. We'll see you next Sunday. One of these days, we're gonna have a killer show. There's gonna be another 30 people in here, and we're gonna have good connection. We're gonna have awesome stuff to talk about. Next Sunday. We only can get better from here, folks. Carl Burr, I appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome night. Jimmy Bright, thank you for your awesome support, dude. You've been here from day one, dude. I appreciate you. Norman Conklin, thank you so much. I promise to have a better connection next time, Norman. I do. Yosef, thank you so much for being so awesome in our Discord. For actually, you know, I got to tell you, what I really like, Yosef, is you putting those posts in there, those tweets, you know, those posts, because I don't keep up with the social media nearly as much as I should. So you putting those in there really gets things ramped up. Thank you so much. Zamora, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Jolene, thank you so much. for swinging in. Loke Doc Fell, baby. He's always here. He's becoming a regular, isn't he? Loke Doc, thanks for being here. Torqued up, zing zing, baby. Oh, he said BBAI, and we didn't even look at it. Oh goodness, Torqued. I'm so sorry, dude. BBAI is looking good. Trying to hold that 10-day moving average too. Looking really, really good for sure. For sure. My G, always kicking ass and taking names and working with me on stuff in the background. Thank you so much for being here, dude. Appreciate you. Robert Tainch, thank you for always stopping in and saying hello. We are an awesome community. I love seeing so many familiar faces in here stopping in to say hi. Eagle Voyages, hope you had a good show. I hope we didn't have too much horrible connection for you. And of course, Mama, hope you guys have an awesome night. Thank you for being with me. Let's hope for a green day.